I do have one more question.
Oh, okay. We got to get him out of here.
What would be your advice to any young filmmakers or comics who have to deal with the social media content cycle?
Talk directly to Homeless Pimp. This is a question
social media content cycle?
Yeah, like you're forced to post to be relevant in the algorithm.
That's not true.
You don't think so?
No.
You think
you have to.
Right.
It looks like a road to success, but maybe it is for some people. You understand what you're doing with this algorithm is you're trying to get the attention of an artificial brain. It's a really weird endeavor, is to obsess about what will this... An algorithm is if I understand correctly, it's an equation. So you're trying to make that equation pick you up. Like it used to be that you either get obsessed with your own work, like you're just obsessed with your work. You love your jokes or you have a voice you need to get out. But then the other side of the spectrum was wanting to be famous. I want attention. But that used to make people think about what do people like? What do people laugh at? What's appealing?
Right.
And looking at humans and looking at audiences and going, how can I make them get me? Or things like, how can I get the gatekeepers to give me a shot? These were obsessions. Mm-hmm. But now this abstract thing of like, how do I fit? How do I get this artificial brain to spread me to people that don't give a shit if I, the way it used to work is if you do something worthwhile, somebody might see it and share it with a friend. Like clickbait is old fashioned now. Clickbait is kind of Clickbait used to be something that'll get people interested and make people share things.
Right.
But they're not interested in humans sharing anymore. It's about literally fitting some weird, either because you are saying something, either because you're saying something popular that's in those 4 subjects, or and not cursing. All the things people are doing to stay out of the algorithm are weirdly self-sanitizing, fucking sick things to be doing with your work.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the worst thing you could be doing right now is trying to follow the algorithm, trying to be as much like other people in the algorithm as you can be, and trying to shave away any part of you that might not fit in the keyhole. That's a sick, fucked up thing to do, because the target isn't even a human being. It's not even audiences. It's just it's a computer. It's taking part in something that's really sick. If you go against it and you just don't give a shit and you just keep doing your thing, you live or die by it.
Yeah.
You spend your whole life trying to get post. Listen to what you're saying. Forced to post. That's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
And the amount of money that's being made by those companies because you just believe that you are a slave to that. There's no other way. And I saw another comedian get, and the club told me, the club looks at your follower numbers or else they won't book you. Well, my advice to a comic recently who was saying that, like, I need to get the numbers up so that I can headline. If you call a club and they go, "What's your Instagram?" You go, I don't have one. They'll go, "Excuse me?"
Yeah.
I don't have Twitter and I don't none of that. What?
Yeah.
I could send you a tape, or I got a YouTube video, something like that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it. I think I made the point. It's just, I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah. Well, I think I actually, that's great advice, because like we are all like subconsciously, like, the era that I'm coming up in, you think that we feel, I was like, oh, everyone's doing crowd work clips. We got to post crowd work clips. Yeah. But we have, for the most part, I think not really. We've been shadow banned. We're still shadow banned, but we just don't care.
I have somebody who does an Instagram for me. I've got an official Instagram, and somebody sends out clips from my series that's on my website. Louie is on my website now exclusively.
Right.
So I wanted to draw attention to it. So we have clips from the website and my specials that just goes out, just clips from the work. And at first I was told, so we're not going to put any cursing in. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, let's stay like let's do the opposite. Let's stay out of the algorithm. I don't want anybody. I don't want this to go in the algorithm. I want these clips to go. I want people to share them. And there's like almost an exact number. Every clip is a ceiling to it. It's clear that I'm not there. I'm not going.
Right.
I'm being shared by the same amount of people every time, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If you're up and coming, it makes life harder. But this is a hard fucking thing to do. It's hard to. At what price do you want to fucking?
You don't think it'll impact comedy overall if everyone subscribes to these new rules?
To what new rules?
being forced to post and
Yeah, I think it's hurts comedy. I know it does. Young comics are. I mean, there's a stagnation in comedy. It hasn't. You always see new guys come up, and you see people getting better. I see it. That there are a lot. It's grinding to a slow crawl now. Folks aren't getting. I've seen people that I saw getting funnier stop getting funnier.
Interesting.
And I've seen some of the newer comedians. They just become more interested in this. And keeping this going because they get big enough that this gets huge, and then they get allured. There's comedians that got big, and I'm like, I love comedy, so I get excited. We just quietly watch them and go, "That's a new voice," but then they get so big that this blows up, and then they go like this, and they're not doing the jokes. They're not getting better anymore. They're not obsessed with the jokes anymore. They're just getting bathed in the sunshine of this thing now. It's like the other side of it from young comics who just can't quite get there. When this blows up,
Yeah.
How do we stop that though? What's going to happen?
Well,
you got to stay. I just think that this is not. It's not good for comics. Should be starved for attention and should just be feeling alone. And also, all you should be thinking about is your work. All you should be thinking about is what you say to the audience, no matter how many, if it's 20 at an open mic or 100 at the cellar or wherever you are, because that's the only thing that's going to make you look back at your life and be happy with it. That's what, like I remember when I used to do pilots, when you did a pilot, you go to the network and you try to do what they want the whole time. And they go, yeah, what about, and you go, okay. And you keep doing what they want.
Yeah.
And then they watch what they ended up making.
Yeah.
And they don't like it.
Yeah.
And you hated the work.
Yeah.
So who the fuck got served?
Yeah.
The last time I did it, the only pilot I did that went, the show Lucky Louie, it was like, I got advice from this guy, Phil Rosenthal, who ran it. He said to me and my partner, just make the show you want because they're not going to pick it up. They're not going to pick it up anyway.
Yeah.
So at least you spent a month making something you loved. Nobody will ever see it.
Yeah.
But you'll look back at that month well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it'll be a piece of tape that you'll be proud of. That's all you got.
Right.
That's all you have. If you get there through that, you're not going to be happy. That's not, what are you?
Yeah.
And the king of the algorithm? The fuck kind of life is that?
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
It's easy for me to say because I've been through it all. But I went through my own version of it. I've been doing this for 38 years. And I didn't get big until I'd been doing it for like 25. Well, that's how long it took me. So I'm not talking from, I'm not like a guy who exploded after 5 years and then I'm like, yeah, you guys don't need this stuff. I mean, I did it the hard way.
Right.
And that road, that 25-year road was, to me, it's the only road to really being a great comic. It's also the same road to shit, to nothing.
Right.
Because it takes 25 years to find out
that
you never should have started. It's the same road. It's a rough fucking life.
Wow. It's amazing, man. Yeah. That's actually great advice that you almost never hear. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you got to go. Kids, get on the algorithm, guys. It's the only way.